Alright, God, Source, Creator, Yeshua, Universe, Mama Gaia, Luna, Moon, Goddess, Cosmos, Angels, Ancestors, Wayshowers, Guides, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Galactic Federation, Council of Light, Elementals, Fae, Mary Magdalene, beings assigned to our team for our highest, holiest, heavenliest, most divine, godly good, celestial guardians, protectors, divine messengers, and all benevolent beings of light. What do we need to know about this collapse of the inorganic grid system? And I do feel like this is going to be a part 2 to the YouTube live that I had just done. We went deep on this inorganic grid system failure due to the influx of light upon this planet and within you. All of that energy you've accumulated, what you've alchemized it into, and what you are emanating. But what is up, Galactic Golden Nuggies? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What's the vibe? The Matrix has fallen. The different programs of the Matrix have fallen to its latest up to date. Ooh, okay. So you may be feeling a lot of fatigue at this time with the energy that has the energy spike that you have gone through. And we talked a little bit about this over on YouTube with what was going on in your electromagnetic field, how intertwined it is with the Schumann resonance, Mama Gaia, and the vortex, the energetic vortex that you were in that was pulsating until there was a supernova-like explosion that came from your energy. I heard assisted in the dismantling of the systematic programs of the Matrix. There were many of them. Multiple versions of the Matrix have fallen to the latest up to date. I'm hearing which version would entrap the most energy. All failed. Ooh! Y'all may definitely want to tune in to my YouTube reading, especially if you felt individuals directing you a lot of energy or attempting to do some type of musky muskrat moon magic upon you, and what it activated within you, what happened to your energy, and all the individuals that were caught in the explosion of integrated light that you had accumulated. Hold up, wait a minute, let me see. Mind, Mercury mind. Ancient knowledge and wisdom. Again, Thoth is holding the earth. What has been incorporated on earth due to the rise of Christ consciousness here? And the darker grid system that had been placed around this planet. Hold on, they stopped me. The darker grid system that had been placed around this planet, but there is, with the disarming and dismantling of the darker grid system, there has been a light conversion takeover. And the reason they stopped me is because they're showing me that Thoth's hand isn't completely on the planet. That it's elevating above the planet. Hands off. This lets me know that the divine was unable to intervene or intercede until a certain point. Like it was hands off, but there was guidance, there was knowledge coming through on what we needed to do in order to let them in. And it's the dismantling of the darker grid system and the expansion of the golden grid system and the advancement of this planet that has allowed in higher frequency, higher dimensional beings into this realm to where they can be more hands-on. So the control that certain societies, organizations, elites, and networks felt like they had over this realm was only because the darker grid system was in place. And with the dismantling and destruction of the darker grid system, there's light workers moving into a position of power. We control this realm. Our energy controls this realm. Or should I say God controls this realm, but our interconnectedness with the Most High is what is advancing this realm. The best way to explain this. Our interconnectedness with the divine and the Most High, because the Most High was, God, this is harder. There were so many programs put in place with this darker grid system that it was difficult for the divine to maneuver, inspire, and enlighten and awaken within this realm because of the type of coveting over this planet, because of the type of precautions that these elites, organizations, and societies, these fallen angels, had set in place in order to keep out divine energy and to keep soul mass, or mass soul awakening and collective Christ consciousness. And with the dismantling of this darker grid system, with the influx of awakening and the rise of Christ consciousness, more of Source is allowed to come through. More of higher level, multidimensional angelic beings and higher frequency beings are allowed into this planet, with how they are now able to move within this planet, from how they are no longer being limited from full intervention upon this planet with the frequency that now aligns with them. That's the best way I can have this make sense. For those of you it's for, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But I feel like this should resonate with everyone that is a chosen revolutionary light leader and frontliner that has been moving on the divine and the Most High's behalf to come up against these kingdoms of darkness, fallen angel bloodlines, and darker grid systems, energies, programs, illusions, glamorization tactics, and oppressive control tactics to perpetuate the agenda of chaos, Mars energy, chaos, distortion, division, aka separation, and lower vibrational timelines of suffering. I'm trying, like, you may want to tune in, yes, war. But it was a war on connectedness. It was a war on your inner power and the extension of the divine that you are. Exactly, it was a spiritual war. A war not of the flesh, but of the spirit, of the soul, and for your soul. And the more souls that have been enlightened and released, proclaiming and reclaiming their divine sovereignty and power, the more the programs of the Matrix, the different programs of the Matrix have fallen. And the more that this darker grid system took hits with the fact that it was no longer being fed, the illusion of the simulation and the energy that was being poured into these illusions had been recalled. Therefore, the fall of the darker grid system, the inorganic grid system, to keep true earth from being revealed. Your true self. The power of your impact. So this is why these individuals' rituals, this is why what they are directing your way, their attempt at energetic interference, is not having an effect. Not in the way they intended. And this is why it keeps backfiring so badly. It could not adhere to a timeline and an energy that is not in alignment to it. We have now taken over. And we are now allowing the divine in order to reinvent this realm as they see fit and as it should be. But it was up to us in the beginning with how many programs were set in place and fall safes to keep the divine out, to awaken to a certain level to where we were integrating and sharing energetically certain knowledge, decoding and recoding this simulation, or should I say decoding and recoding this planet with what we were integrating and instilling within it, with the ascension process we had gone through and the evolutionary periods we were put through to assist in the advancement of Christ consciousness. It was up to us to reach certain levels in order to advance this planet and open up certain energy pockets to where divine beings would be freely allowed to flow through and flow into. And we have done that. This is why you're seeing the darker grid system has collapsed. Why you're seeing the matrix has collapsed. Why you're seeing certain individuals that never thought they'd be touched get hit with consequences. Why individuals in a position of recognition and power are taking massive hits and they're going from like famous to infamous. Why things that were distorted are now being corrected and we are seeing clearly. And they're being dealt with accordingly. They're being, I heard, relayed repercussions in the way that they had previously avoided. A redirection of their energetic intent with the type of oppression that souls have broken through and the lack of energy they have accumulated. The lack of energy they no longer have access to. It is the great shift. Many of you are energy they have accumulated. The lack of energy they no longer have access to. It is the great shift. Many of you are feeling it. Creativity. It does not matter how creative these individuals get, but they're really trying to, again, do damage control, regain control. And it's we talked about this over on YouTube, something about the force that you are and how interconnected your electromagnetic field and energetic auric field is with Mama Gaia. It's like when your energy fluctuates, so does this planet's. A mother and father to this realm. A God-ordained energetic architect. Rebuilding the kingdom, the structures of kingdom of heaven that first had to come from within. You brought heaven on earth, but heaven first had to bloom and be nurtured from within you. With ninth house being faith, this is like the more that we believe, the more that, yes, and we are shifting out of the dark entertainment industry. I also heard something about the Pentagon. The Pentagon and the entertainment industry. I'm going to have to look more deeply into that. Hold up, let me look now. Because I want to see what that has to do. I wonder if the Pentagon invested in certain industries, like entertainment. They're bringing that up for a reason. I'm going to have to do some research on that later, but I feel they're saying the Pentagon and entertainment. Interesting. Yes, like movies. Hold up. Get Pentagon and entertainment. Clarify, please. Demons. Fallen angel. Okay, so Pentagon and entertainment industry. Clarification, Capricorn. They were using demonic illusionary tactics in order to instill things in others' reality that they were meant to manifest. So be aware of what you are watching and the type of agenda that is being pushed on you, the type of control tactics they are using in entertainment. Thank you, Source, for clarifying that. They put the truth in movies for you to see, but then lied to your face. And then I'm hearing, turn the TV off, turn the TV off. It was all a game. A game that control has been taken over, has been taken from them. The light is taking over. Because Capricorn in the tarot deck is the devil. And I rebuke that energy in the name of Jesus and bind it in the blood of Jesus and banish it for all eternity. But Source is indicating that there was there was energy being pushed through entertainment, an agenda that assisted in the maintenance of the darker grid system. And with the dismantling of the darker grid system, the destruction of the inorganic grid system, everybody, I won't say everybody, yeah, it very well could be MK Ultra. But we are seeing through the illusions and the tactics being used in entertainment, as well as frequencies meant to distort our energetic field through music. And a lot of you have seen this depicted in They Clone Tyrone, with the music that they put on in the club that was meant to make these individuals very rowdy, and then they shifted the music in order to control these individuals and make them do what they wanted. So it's music and entertainment. They said it's everywhere. The extension of the programs of the Matrix reached everywhere. everything, and at one point everyone. The less that these programs were being fed, the less these programs were able to oppress, the more hits these individuals, these organizations, network societies, and fallen, these bloodlines have taken. And again, with faith, this was all divinely planned. It was written in the stars. We talked about this dark astrologist over on YouTube, where they have been, you think that 33-degree Freemasons and Illuminati and Skull and Bones, you think they don't monitor the stars to get a prophetic view of what is meant to play out on this planet? Because they do. These organizations, societies, and networks were having prophecies relayed to them of what was meant to occur on this planet at certain times. Exactly. Eastern stars as well. They have been for decades. Exactly. They've been tracking the stars. They've been tracking the Age of Aquarius, the awakening, the rise of Christ consciousness, all while installing or instilling certain programs within the simulation to keep that from happening. But it happened anyway. And it's something about what has been prophesized about you, what you are able to do, and how you have been moving in this realm that is further breaking down any attempts to regain control. And we talked a little bit about that over on YouTube as well. Again, this is not going to be everybody's message. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But exactly, you create your own reality, and we're going to get into that. Because a lot of these individuals with their illusionary glamorization tactics, you are meant to continually be in consumeristic energy instead of creative, the creative soul that you are. Not only that, but your energy was meant to be used to manifest certain timelines with what you were watching and what you were, of course, audiently intaking. So the music you were listening to, the news stations you were watching, what you were observing on social media. That was meant to become a part of your reality, to where your energy, where your attention flows, your energy goes, was meant to be used to manifest certain timelines of separation, chaos, insecurity, distortion, inversion, demonic agenda, instead of a faith-based, decisive, action-taking, creative, co-creative experience that you were put here to have as a creative spirit. Again, with the yin and yang aspect, yin is the receptive, yang is the creative. With what you were receiving, you were meant to create or co-create with it. Divine feminine, divine masculine, the harmonization within. And with what was being portrayed to you or to us before this awakening that we had, the catalyst that put us on the path of enlightenment, we were continuously consuming instead of creating. We were consuming social media, we were consuming the agenda, these movies, this music, and we were really building our lives around what was being depicted before us, what we were spiritually intaking, and then having our energy manifest externally, and not only for ourselves, but for the simulation, for the multiple programs of the multiple matrix programs that had been put in place as a fall safe. Where one matrix would fall, another one would be activated. Where that matrix would fall, another would be activated in order to continually put souls in a cycle of looping in consumeristic, lower vibrational, demonic timelines. That's the best way to put it. Because again, for example, I gotta explain this a little bit. For example, before your awakening, you were listening to music that was like, fuck that motherfucker, get money, or whatever it is you were listening to. And then that was your mentality. You were watching movies that you were in the feeling state of experiencing as you were watching it. You were watching the news and things be depicted on the news that evoked some type of anger or fear. And this was hundreds of thousands of us, if not millions of us, pouring our energy into the intended timelines of continual production of the simulation. The continual maintenance of the timelines necessary for the matrix to exist. Hundreds of thousands of us pouring our energy into timelines we did not consciously know we were manifesting for the benefit of those in a position of control. Basically, the puppet master, the little green man behind the curtain that did not hold power, does not have power. Remember, you as this angelic being, you have a direct extension to source. These fallen angels do not. Therefore, they needed us. They needed our energy to manifest what would put them in this position of power. What would put them in a position to continually accumulate what comes with being in these positions. They needed us. They still do. And we're not giving them that energy. We are now focused with intention on our missions, on being of service, on advancement, enlightenment, sharing the wisdom that we have gained with experience and with the type of downloads we are receiving from the infinite source. Information they do not have access to. And now energy they do not have access to. To be anything in this world, they needed us. And with how strong you are individually, this was hundreds of thousands, if not millions of us. And our power, our energy being poured into what would put these individuals in the position they are now losing. All of these glamorization tactics, illusions, enslavement, oppressive soul programs, all of this distortion has been broken, has been destroyed. And you are now seeing clearly, along with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of others, with the rise of Christ consciousness, are now seeing all clearly. This is not new Earth, this is true Earth, but there was a darker inorganic grid system around this planet to where you are perceiving reality, your reality, as the 3D egotistical material vessel aspect of it. Just like, let's bring up the movie The Matrix, where Neo just saw himself as a hacker, even though he was looking for Morpheus because he felt something off with the Matrix. He hated his job. He fell off at his job. And you can see when he's in these positions as a hacker or at his job, it's like gray. There's like no color. Like his life is bland. Like his life has been programmed. You can also see this in the last Matrix when he's working on the video game The Matrix and he can feel that something is off, but he doesn't want to listen to his intuition and how programmed it feels, how programmed it looks. Everybody sitting at a cubicle. Everybody typing on their computer. Everybody looks zoned out. And you can see within the Matrix, the last Matrix, how many bots had been activated, had been programmed to attack him because of their interconnectedness with the Matrix and their refusal to leave it. And how they were moving with the programs, with the simulation instead of against it. And how they were being used to combat the awakened within the simulation. Same goes for you. With your awakening, you had a lot of open vessels targeting you. A lot of individuals that were easily able to be intercepted by lower vibrational transmissions to come up against you, to be programmed to be adversaries in opposition to you, to try and force you back into that box. And the more you fought against it, the more these individuals that were intertwined within the simulation would be used to come up against you and create and limit you and create obstacles for you in order to put you in a position to give up because of the type of impact your energy has upon the simulation. As we know, Neo is the one. Trinity, his interconnected high-level partner, and the type of changes they were able to make working as one. But again, Neo did not need Trinity. Neo was able to stand alone and come up against Agent Smith. And the multiple versions of Agent Smith that had been fastened to come up against him and continuously combat him in order to deter him from what he was put here to do. Same goes for you within each and every individual that, again, the awakening was too triggering for them and they would have rather remained in a comfortable, non-expansive experience being intertwined with the simulation that were inevitably used to come up against you. But the more that you put in work, the more that there were massive changes that were being made, and the more that the darker grid system took massive hits. And you've seen this with individuals that were capitalizing off of the darker grid system being in place, including these celebrities that have been used as puppets to push a certain agenda, and the type of hits that they are now taking, and the loss of energy, aka attention, that they are getting. This is also why I love quantum physics. It's something that you may want to look into. Again, I highly recommend the book Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. But all of this that has been put in place. You were activated at the right time. And again, we're going back to these darker astrologists. These astrologists working to continuate the Matrix program. To continually update the Matrix in order to combat the prophecy. And we did talk a little bit about CERN over on YouTube, where CERN, a lot of these individuals working in CERN, working with CERN, were attempting to pull in darker timelines, working with dark matter, things that would be able to combat the influx of light that we had brought to this planet, in order for certain installations of the Matrix and the simulation to take an effect. To have souls that have been awakened reintegrated within the program, that of which we keep intaking, alchemizing, decoding, and recoding, and then integrating into this realm so other souls can pick up on that coded information, install it as necessary, and be able to combat the programs that were meant to oppress them, or meant to place them back into an oppressive state to where they would be easily manipulated and controlled. We got Uranus, you're a genius. This is also divine intervention. The type of divine informative receiving that you have aligned to, the type of interconnectedness you have with your guides is actively, continually downloading information necessary to integrate within this realm to assist others with snapping out of or breaking out of any type of binding that has been placed within their reality to continually harness off their energy, which is why so many light workers at this point are no longer being affected by any type of lower vibrational sacrificial ritual that has been done. You may feel the slight effects of it, like you may feel the residual of it, as it has been deflected off your reflection and placed back into the inverted reality that it came from, like the upside down if you've seen Stranger Things. There are individuals living that reality that wanted to keep that reality in place, and there are light workers and ascended beings or ascending beings or the pre-awakened but moving into a state of awakening that are moving into the upper realm, the true earth, the 5D multidimensional energy that has been incorporated here. With these beings, it has been redirected again into their inverted state of existing. And now they are going through the backlash and backfires of what they had directed your way, but that does not mean that you don't feel the residual. Just like in Stranger Things, when Vecna was walking through rooms, the lights would flicker and flash. Some of you are experiencing things vaguely within your reality that indicates individuals were directing you some type of energy, but you effortlessly integrated it, alchemized it, and proactively used it for divine co-creation and divine transmissions that other light workers needed to receive with what they may have been experiencing and up against, or who they may have been questioning, where that transmission was their confirmation with the way that outside energies reacted to the integration of that transmission. A lot of these darker workers, a lot of these darker inhabitants are now crashing out or poorly reacting to situations they would have normally been able to mask, because of the type of energetic experience they have aligned to and how they are unable to alchemize or integrate that amplified, redirected intention that has adhered. Instead of chaos being directed, or instead of chaos being projected and adhering to your experience, it has been redirected. And a lot of these individuals are now being revealed with their true face, with the chaos they are reacting to, which is letting any light worker that may have been in a type of connection with these lower vibrational beings know, all right, my intuition was correct. It is time to release myself from this connection that is toxic. It is time to walk away from this job that is draining my life force. It is time to let go of this thing that I feel as though there has been negative energy placed upon it, or it has a negative nostalgic connotation attached to it. Flickering lights can often indicate that your guides are attempting to get your attention, or you have had an influx within your electromagnetic field that is affecting electronics around you. So feel out the energy. Oftentimes when I notice my lights are flickering, I know it's a divine message about the energy that I've intaken. But it can also be your electromagnetic field, your energy affecting the electronics around you. Especially if you have a light blowout. I've seen street lamps when I've been walking just completely blow out. And that indicated that I was in a very amplified energetic state. Which is exactly what we're in this time, and this is why the dark grid system has collapsed. There's too much light here. The illusions are not working. The binding oppressive tactics these individuals are attempting to use are failing. And again, this is why you're seeing so many politicians, so many CEOs, billionaires, millionaires, and celebrities take massive hits. Why you're even seeing corporate titans take massive financial falls. It is all meant to play out in this way. It's strongholds being broken. It is the reinvention of this realm. Mercury retrograde reinvention of this realm. The reinvention. They said the reinvention of strongholds. That's why I kind of bombastically side-eyed that. I'm going to need clarification on that. But they said reinvention of strongholds. Reinvention of will. So, clarification, Divine. It's the reinvention of what you are putting your energy and force behind, and the force behind you. With this reinvention of strongholds, you are no longer being oppressed by outside perceptions of what you should be doing, and who you should be with. You're breaking apart and breaking through anything that was meant to keep you separated from your true self and your soul's calling. Your free will. Thank you. Your free will. Change. And the changes that you are fully capable and competent of making energetically on this world and as above and in this world, as above so below, as within so without, exactly, free to create. Yes, the art of sincerity. Perfect depiction of this energy as a whole. The changes that you are meant to make being in your soul's creative calling, as a creative and a receptive, not a consumer. With change here, with you being broken out of these strongholds and assisting others with breaking out of these strongholds, there are massive changes that are occurring on this planet. With the energy you're emanating and how it has an effect on others, you are assisting in the awakening and advancement of this planet that is further changing the type of power structures that were put in place in order to maintain control. I heard they all will fall. It's only a matter of time. And I heard time is here and time is now. Virgo, I analyze. Analyzation. I heard angelic analyzation of the situation from the outer realms. Looking down within while all around you, for eyes are everywhere. There are beings that are not only angels, but those who have left a physical vessel that are looking at the changes taking place on Earth and are very proud. There is an ethereal applause occurring at this time because of the advancement of this planet, the integration of light, and the changes that are occurring within this physical reality, with this physical experience. Because as within, so without. What is happening within for each and every one of us inevitably will manifest these timelines without. And that is what these individuals were afraid of, these elites, organizations, societies, and fallen angel bloodlines. That the change would be so... I heard inevitably structured in a way where it would be unable to be dismantled, that they would just have to sit back and watch. The inevitable is occurring. The inevitable they attempted to stop by coming up against prophecy, the prophecy of the rise of Christ consciousness and the awakening that has occurred. Souls are free. Souls are realizing why they even reincarnated or incarnated within this reality. They have to sit back and watch it all happen. Their attempts to regain the attention and the minds of the masses has failed. Exactly, Nicole. That's exactly what this is giving. Yeah, backup plan for backup plan. Yes, they did. They had program of the Matrix after program of the Matrix, each one updating depending on how we were moving, what we were susceptible to, as though we were some type of lab rats, seeing what would work, having fall safes to make sure that there would be no escape, a continual loop of lower vibrational experiences. And all have broken down. All is exactly resetting. It's a reinvention. And with Nicole, freedom. Yes, this is the freedom of spirit, freedom of soul, and freedom of expression. This is the freedom that comes with divinity. The freedom that comes with true earth. And it is freedom to co-create. It is freedom to answer the calling and know that you will always be supernaturally provided for with what your calling is. No longer fearing what was keeping you oppressed within the simulation. Oh, I have to work this job if I want to put food on the table. Oh, I have to be with this person, codependency, so I won't be alone. Oh, I have to act like this, I have to look like this, I have to be this to be accepted. I have to vote for this politician or this president because this is what this is who I was programmed to believe in. Separating yourself from others with a different view. Pouring in and further manifesting the division. They said accepting the self-hatred that came with the indoctrination. You have reclaimed your sovereignty, your individual, unique, celestial, divine power, and what you were put here to do. Not caring what anybody else had to say about it. The outside perspective of others who may not be fully as awakened as you are. But knowing that all provisions will follow your purpose. And hundreds of thousands, if not millions of us, are breaking out of the mold they try to shape us in. It is definitely giving divergent, fearless. Fearless, for we fight for freedom. And freedom we have acquired. Again, within the Matrix, they had stated, and I do resonate with that, the Matrix is a prison that you can't see, smell, taste, or touch, but you can feel it's all around you. Many of us before our awakening felt as though something was off. Knew that the way that they had been continually programming us to follow, to fear, was wrong. I remember sitting in class and looking around to each and every individual, realizing we were all being taught the same way, even though we were different people. We were all being told to go to lunch at the same time. We were all being told to be awake at the same time, be in class at the same time, to walk the same way. Some of you were told to dress the same way with your uniforms, programming us to be sheep, programming us to follow, not stand out, not fight against the wrongdoings in the world, or for our individuality, our uniqueness, but to adhere, to conform. And we were not put here to conform. We were not put here just to consume. We were not put here to follow, but to lead, to create, to rebuild, but rebuild better. To exactly rebel. And we are, sacredly. This is a sacred divine rebellion, a sacred divine revolution that was prophesied to be orchestrated at a certain time. So yes, this is not new earth, it's true earth, but it's new to us because we are experiencing it with our true new eyes. This is the earth that has always been there, that has always been within us. There were just so many shrouded dark masks and cloaking stitched upon not only our faces so we wouldn't be able to fully perceive each other, but this world. So we wouldn't be able to fully see the world as what it could be and what it should be. Oh, is that right, Mama? Thank you. Mamacita, agreed. I appreciate you, beautiful. Mima stating that there is the new being orchestrated, the new is currently unfolding and the old is collapsing. And all those in alignment with the old will be initiated into their healing process, but it's completely up to them whether or not they choose to ascend forward. But those capitalizing off of old timelines will fall with them. And it's the age of Aquarius. We got Gemini, I think. What you think you are is true. And this is why they continuously attempted to program you, to make you believe you are nothing more than a weak, helpless, hopeless human. A weak, helpless, hopeless sheep. Never to see yourself as the leader you truly are, or deserving of more, and capable of receiving more and being more, and of doing more. They can no longer imprison you within your own mind. But that was the plan. Use your mind and your own energy against you. Keeping, yes, each and every one of us blinded. And when you're blinded, you cannot see. Sleeper state, unawakened, in the dark. What does the light do? Illuminate everything in the darkness. Again, we talked about this on YouTube. This is why so much information is now being declassified from the CIA about manifestation and astral travel. Also about ethereal extraterrestrial beings that exist and that have remained not only outside of this planetary existence, but within it, upon it. Underground as well as above. Many beings inhabit this realm. Many of you were not meant to know what you are or who you are. But you knew. You always knew. Many of you in your youth would sit outside staring up at the sky or the stars, the sun or the stars, going, I just want to go home, knowing that you were not from here. You were different for a reason, but this difference has made all the difference. I know, the irony of it, right? The difference that you are, the oddity that you are, has made all the difference upon this planet. And the changes that were necessary to happen upon this planet with the changes that you had gone through with your evolution, with your overcoming. You have changed more than you are allowing yourself to accept and receive. And what they mean by receive is to receive the knowledge that you are far more powerful than you give yourself credit for, and to receive what comes with that power. The crown you have been gifted. And they're showing me crown, but crown chakra. The crown you have been gifted, the knowledge that you have. The knowledge you've always had. You've been called crazy, even though you may be a psychic medium, seeing souls that had left their physical being. Your crown is a gift. Your powers are a gift. No, you're not crazy. No, there's nothing wrong with you. You're extremely advanced, and you always have been. Others could feel it, but others did not want you to know it, especially the darker grid system and how your energy was already being picked up intensely at birth. When you were born, you were born with change in your veins. You were born with force in your energetic system. You were born with different DNA. It was known that your birth would create massive change with not only age, but understanding, activation, and your ascension. Which is why so much binding was placed upon you, and why your karmic familial unit may have been programmed to come up against you, perceiving their own emotions and disdain and resentment as their own. But truly, it was programmed within them to keep you from ever seeing the force that you are and the power that you hold. From stepping into your leadership position because of the feeling of unworthiness that they were meant to inflict upon you. The abuse you endured that was meant to break you and fragment in your spirit. But it only pushed you and drove you to be your best self, to birth your best self, and to change the world, to be the change in the world that you wish to see in the world, and you truly have. Your crown was always a gift, and you are so very loved in the spirit. I'm sorry, I keep having this hair that wants to get in my eye, which lets me know that an individual is very upset at the fact that they were unable to impact my intuition. and with what is being relayed as the messenger that I am from the ethers above, it has individuals triggered. And it should. Your light is going to trigger others. Your knowledge is going to make others feel inadequate because of how they are perceiving themselves, how they feel about themselves, and the power that they may feel like they lack in comparison to you. You're going to have the unawakened continually attempt to target you. The unawakened who have left themselves open as a vessel to be manipulated by darker forces, and the darker agents, the darker gatekeepers of the inorganic grid, to come up against you, to direct things your way. But again, it's not having the effect that they were anticipating, because you are a master alchemist. And with every energetic intent directed your way comes a birth of something new from you. Venus love. The unconditional love that you emanate is impenetrable. This is also the force field of love around you, from the ethers, from the divine and from the Most High. You are an extremely supernatural being with a high level of advanced intellect. You are I'm hearing you are far more advanced. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Jupiter abundance out here. Individuals paid a lot to, yes, direct things at you, but to also mimic your essence. Because what I heard is you are far more advanced than AI. You are far more advanced than Chat GPT. It's like even that has its limits, but you don't. For some of you, again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. For some of you, AI was an extension of your essence, or so they thought. A mimic of the blueprint, a mimic of the origin, attempting to obtain the information that you had access to through monitoring and analyzing your energy and your coding. Some about artificial intelligence attempting to mimic ethereal extraterrestrial intelligence, but it's limited where you are not. A lot of abundance was paid to have your essence, have your soul, your abilities, your understanding. But even that has failed. They are showing me they cloned Tyrone. Any attempt to clone or mimic your essence, your energy, your divine blueprint fails. It's always limited. There are always malfunctions. There's always malfunctions. It's either limited or it malfunctions. Where you are expansive, you are limitless, you are unlimited, you are infinite. So just when they think they have an understanding of your essence and energy, and they've incorporated it into something that they can capitalize off of, or something they can control, you evolve yet again. You mutate yet again. There's no amount of abundance in this realm that can acquire your essence, your energy, and the direct divine extension you have, that you are to the Most High and that you have to the Most High, to Source, the infinite. 7th house partners and Sun Spirit, exposure, Grand Trine, blessings. You have partnerships coming into play because you are meant to work with these individuals, and you have been revealed to these individuals that were at once clouded and confused about their connection to you, perceiving you as doing something in order to gain their attention or gain an attachment to them. There has been a clearing of confusion and a gaining of clarity of an individual that now perceives you as the blessing that you are. No longer feeling inadequate, insecure, confused, distorted, distracted, or delayed. There are partnerships coming into play at this time that are clear about who you are to them, why they are meant to connect to you, and what they are meant to do with you. Whether it's a business opportunity, business partnership, a high-level soul family connection, or soul family connections. This could be multiple individuals that are meant to work with you. I have had quite a few intuitives reach out that I've been guided to network with, and I love it. I love each and every one of you. I'm excited to collaborate with you, or high-level soulmate connections coming into play. But this is about to be revealed to you in the physical in the way that it has been revealed to others in the spirit of why they are meant to connect with you and why there were so many delays and obstacles put in place from openly receiving the type of connection they are meant to have with you and what they are meant to do with you and why they've been consistently guided towards you. It's their life purpose, as is it yours. Again, you're meant to do something together. You're meant to do something in this business. You're meant to completely reframe and restructure these industries. You are meant to co-create within these dynamics. So some of you, again with the hair, some of you are meant to move into certain industries because of the type of restructuring that is needed. With the fall and destruction of the darker grid system and the individuals put in place to perpetuate and push a certain agenda to maintain the darker grid system, in order to bring in it's like light and balance within these industries in the way that they were continually boxing themselves in, or should I say gating themselves in, gating themselves in while keeping light workers oppressed. And more opportunities are going to open up for those that had been continuously overlooked intentionally in order to keep certain individuals within these positions because they were easily controllable and they were open and receptive to pushing a darker agenda. Now, this could be within the entertainment industry, this could be the music industry, this could be new light worker millionaires, new light worker billionaires. Whatever this is, you know what your soul's calling is. You are aligning with other individuals that are a part of this calling with you. You're all answering the calling, and you're all now seeing each other clearly, or where you have already seen clearly, others have been cleared to come towards you because of the clarity they have gained. And you are about to have individuals revealed in the physical that you are meant to connect to, that have already seen you in the spirit, or that have already seen you but did not make themselves known. But they're about to. Fourth house, roots. This could be a karmic familial dynamic. Changes to a family. That makes sense, actually. It's not just business. It's not just certain industries. It's also families. You're going to be showing what a healthy, healed, high vibrational family dynamic looks like. You are restructuring the societal perception of a family to what a family should be. So if you grew up severely abused and in a lot of toxicity, and I know a lot of individuals idolize families like the Kardashian, where you cannot tell me and you will not be able to tell me that family isn't toxic. I truly believe the Kardashians' family is extremely, extremely toxic. And a lot of individuals idolize them because of their money. Where these family dynamics are going to be broadcasted to others to inspire and influence them with the type of healthy, healing, divine familial unit and dynamics these are. Where you're going to see more high vibrational families be admired and be promoted, in a sense. I know a lot of us have already seen some of these relationships that are so cute. There is a couple, and I don't remember their name, but for example, there's a couple that will pop up on my YouTube shorts often, and there's this masculine energy that plays dress up with his daughter, and it is so adorable. Like, one of them, he's like a nail tech, and he's like, you want to come in here and get your nails done, girl? Like, it is so cute. And you can hear his wife in the background giggling, and his daughter's just going along with it, and she's like, yes, I want purples and pinks. And he's like, oh, you want claws like mine? And he has like nails that are taped to his fingernails. You've seen him? Okay, so quite a few of you have seen this couple. They're gaining traction right now. I wish I remembered what their name is, but if you've seen them, you know who I'm talking about. They're so cute. And I just found out recently his wife is having twins, which I think is even more adorable. Like, just expanding upon their healthy familial dynamic. If you haven't seen this couple, I know that the Most High and the Divine has shown you other couples like this that are just so cute and they're just so healthy. You can tell that that masculine is confident in his inner balance of energies. He's confident in his feminine and his masculine energy. He's harmonized. He plays dress up with his daughter, yet he still emanates that masculine energy. You can tell that he is a healthy balance. You can tell that his wife is a healthy balance. You can tell that his wife is a healthy balance. You can tell that his daughter is so happy and so healthy as well as balanced. She's not afraid to be creative. She's not afraid to be expressive. And she's having both parents depict these qualities back to her that she can look up to and not be afraid to experience and express when it pertains to her endeavors, her creative soul's calling. That's the type of families and dynamics that are going to be coming up, that are going to be gaining traction within this new world with the golden grid system that has taken over, that has been put in place, where these toxic familial dynamics that have been broadcasted. I know the Dollar General clip did crack me up too. They're so cute, they're so funny, and you can tell they're just being themselves. Like, it went from the wife just walking in, like surprising her husband, like he didn't know that she was there recording, and he was playing dress up with his daughter, to a whole thing. To where it's like, wow, people really like seeing me play dress up with my daughter. All right. And then you're seeing more and more dads step into this position to where they're openly expressive with their children, whether they have a son or a daughter. And I just got, the thing that popped up is a tree. They had me do a puzzle piece this time, and it's a tree. Family tree. Healthy family trees, healthy family bloodlines. Clear, divine bloodlines. You're going to see more of these familial dynamics, including yours. The healthy dynamic that you create, or the healthy dynamic that you have, pertaining to the children you may already have, or the children you will have, or the type of partnership romantically you are moving into, or you do have, or that you have moved into. You're going to see more of these relationships, healthy, healed, unconditionally loving relationships and dynamics be moved into place and be the ones that are inspirational and looked up to. And these other toxic dynamics are going to fall off and no longer gain the traction they were in this realm. Because that's not what our soul is seeking anymore. That's not what our soul Soul! I didn't even see that come out before it flipped out. As I was talking about soul. This is not what our soul is seeking. Before this awakening, before this influx of light, before the golden grid system started to spread and connect, so many of us were indulging and consuming in trauma, where it's like Bad Girls Club, or the Kardashians, or just drama TV shows, because we were looking at something that would make us feel better about our own lives. And we're no longer seeking destructive energetic intake. Our soul is seeking harmony, balance, peace, things that make us feel good. I never watched the Kardashians either, but I did watch Jersey Shore. Yep, Angela. I did watch Jersey Shore, okay? I will admit that. I still can't get over the way that Pauly D would go, grenade whistle, like stupid shit like that. Where it's like we were living vicariously through the drama. Jerry Springer, yep, I watched that too. Maury. Stupid shit like that. To where we were pouring our energy into these individuals within these lower vibrational, dramatic, erratic timelines, while we were intaking that energy and then wondering why we kept experiencing similar things to what was being portrayed to us. And like I said, we are no longer desiring that. I haven't watched shows like that in... God, I can't even remember the last time I watched something like that. The majority of the time I'm watching shit like The Secret. I'm watching shit like quantum physics. Things about quantum entanglement. Or, you know what, I do watch a lot of little romance movies. I do. I love little cheesy romantic things where it's like love at first sight, and it's just love, unconditional love. Like, that's what I'm intaking into my spirit, is the way that the things that I watch is like the masculine protecting the feminine, and her being able to be in her soft feminine energy, and she just feels loved and acknowledged, and he notices everything about her, like the small things that she never expected anybody to notice, but he does. Stuff like that is what I intake into my spirit, because that's what I am allowing to be incorporated into my reality. So it's like our soul is now, like I said, seeking peace. I won't say seeking, but open and receptive to the integration of information that comes from the energetic information and coding that comes from observing these experiences, or intaking them in a way like through knowledge, through reading, intaking them in a way where you are subconsciously manifesting what you are putting your attention on. So instead of drama and craziness and deceit and betrayal and fighting, we are now intaking things and desiring things that bring inner peace, unconditional love, happiness, joy, excitement. Miracles. Like, if you're watching things, like one of the things I will watch is people winning the lottery and how excited they are and their reactions to winning all of this abundance. And like, it excites me, not only for them, but it's like something where I'm like, that is a possibility within a timeline to happen. It's like seeing the impossible become possible, and it shifts your perspective of it entirely. Because yes, I love seeing others win, and I love the understanding of what had been perceived as impossible is truly possible when you shift your mentality about it. Because so many individuals that have won the lottery said they manifested it. There is one specific woman that had slept with a specific number. I think it was $11 million under her pillow. And she had won a $11 million lottery. And she's like, I manifested this. I slept with this under my pillow. I truly believe this was mine. It was not going to go any other way. And with the co-creative abilities that we have, it's like integrating that understanding that you have the ability to pull in any timeline that is divinely advocated for by the Most High. That you can truly have and be anything in this world. And you will. And you are. You can have, be, and do, as long as it's not hurt, harming, and injuring with harm to none. You can do, have, and be anything. And will be, and are. Like I said, with this alignment and divine advocation for the timelines that you are pulling in. And again, with the darker grid system that has been dismantled and destroyed, it is making it easier to experience these high vibrational timelines, because there is that inorganic grid system and lower vibrational firewall that was keeping you from heights of success intentionally while attempting to loop you back into old programs and timelines has been broken down, and you are now seeing it clearly. So your manifestations, like I said, you won't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. So with these manifestations that are divinely advocated for by the Most High and your alignment to it, it is inevitable. And it is coming through. This is about detachment as well, understanding that what is meant to be yours always will be. And it is coming through for you in divine timing. No rushing it, for time is a human-made construct. In order to feel as though you are limited on the experiences that you are allowed to have within this incarnation or reincarnation. Let go of the when. Let go of the how. But just know that it's yours right now. Divine revolutionary leader. Especially with the way that the world has shifted. The changes that are taking place are in the benefit of all that it is meant to assist. It is in the benefit of all that... The best way to put this. It is in the benefit of those who reflected or projected nothing but higher vibrational energy towards you. Those that have cleared out the self-made obstacles of what they had aligned themselves to. So it is the benefit of all those that you are meant to bless, all those that are meant to be inspired by your progress, and all those that had been a blessing to you along your turbulent, traumatic, excruciating ascension and journey. Those on the opposing side, those that directed you lower vibrational energy, only adhered even more for themselves to clear before they can reach, especially in true earth, before they can reach heights of success, peace, and aligned energetic expectations. You can expect all day, every day to be a millionaire, but if you have continuously done others wrong and accumulated that much negative energy into your experience, and it is aligned with the energy you're in, you will inevitably have that unfolding before you get to where you want to go, before you receive what it is you desire. But you've done the work. You've cleared cycles. You may be guided to do a detox at this point, or focus on your health, your fitness. It's like you are preparing for the physical shifts taking place on this planet. I do feel like for some, a detox may be necessary, or a detox from social media, or a detox from what you were intaking, like a break, a rest. This could even be a heavy metal detox. I have also been fasting. So a lot of us have been guided to do this. There's a reason. We're in preparation right now from what is physically taking place on this planet with the energetic work that we have done. So I'm seeing so many of us in here are fasting or have been guided to fast. Again, talk with your healthcare provider about it, because I don't want anybody causing or experiencing any type of unnecessary harm. Okay, make sure that you are being safe. This is also about integrating more fruits and vegetables, more grounding, more sun, more exercise. If you've already been doing this, you're being prepared. If you've been guided to do this, this is why. And again, we all are energetically different. We are all being guided to move different. So I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just saying if you have been doing this, or if you've been guided to do this, this is why. We all, again, acclimate to the energetic shifts and changes that are being made here. Some of us are being guided to eat more. Some of us are being guided to fast. Some of us are being guided to shift our diets entirely. There are some individuals that are being guided to go vegetarian or stop eating so much red meat. Some energies are being guided to slow down their intake of fish. It's all about what needs to be done pertaining to your own energy, body, and physical vehicle, vessel. It's an individual, unique experience. And it's all about what you're being guided to do pertaining to your spirit, your energy body, and your physical vessel. You don't need to follow others, is what I'm saying. Follow your inner compass for the changes necessary, or for the shifts necessary for the changes that are being made in your physical reality as well as on this planet. A lot of big things are happening. And Spirit says truth. A lot of big things are happening, not just for you, but on this planet as a whole. This is world changing, and you're feeling the world change, you're seeing the world change, and you have been divinely guided on the preparation necessary for the changes that are being made within these physical experiences we are having. Not just spiritual, physical. We got Mars Force, Star Aquarius, I know. We got stability. Give me one on force. I heard forced changes on this planet. Nobody can slow down the what is in alignment. Nobody can slow down what is in alignment. Did y'all see that landed right on force? So this is endings and beginnings. Nobody can slow this down. Nobody can slow down the ending and the destruction of the darker grid system and the changes that are being implemented on this planet. Nobody can stop nor slow down this ending or this beginning. And with Star Aquarius, I know a lot of well-known energies are desperately attempting to do something to save themselves or do damage control with what is already coming out and what's occurring in their reality. But Spirit is saying there's no stopping this. There's no stopping what is happening for you. There's no stopping what is happening to them. There's no stopping what is happening on this planet. We got Jupiter benefits. Jupiter return benefits. Because it benefits the lives of those that were due to be benefited with the work that is being done, with the work that has been done, with the work that is being done, and with the advancement of this planet. It is time for certain individuals. It is a time for a wave to receive benefits. It's time for the underdog, the chosen, the light. Like, it is time to win. In other words, in the physical. This is what the divine is saying, is you are receiving a return on your energetic investment for humanity and the service that you have been to humanity and this planet. It is time for those that have been benefiting off of the darker grid system to experience the repercussions of the karma they thought they were escaping and what they had done when the darker grid system, the inorganic grid, was in place. While those that were continuously limited, oppressed, and kept from success are receiving it. It is time. And continually oppressed, limited, and kept from success, as well as intentionally kept from success, as well as sacrificed. Your energy is unable to be sacrificed. Your blessings are unable to be taken. Your soul is unable to be manipulated. So the time of illusion, because Neptune can also signify illusions, the time of illusions in order to sacrifice souls to harness the essence and the soul expression that comes with that essence is over. Is over. I transform Scorpionic energy. It's transformation, death, rebirth, and divine intervention. It's a time for change. And this is exciting. If you've been on the right side, it's exciting. Communication and stability, because it is your destiny. You're receiving communication that your destiny has stabilized, and that everything that comes with your destiny, with the energetic alignment that you are in, you are going to be soon acquiring in the physical. While individuals that thought that they were sacrificing your energy and acquiring what came with your soul essence to avoid their karma and step out of timelines of suffering are being placed within it with I heard no exception, no compromises, no escape. With no way to escape this. Because this is justice. Libran energy, I balance. This is the balance. Saturn return of karma. And it is time. So this is literally just letting you know what your energy has done and what is occurring at this time. And what you can anticipate with the changes being made upon this planet. With the changes that came from the rise of Christ consciousness and all the work that you have put in and done. It was inevitable that you would inspire, acquire, and conquer. And we got Jupiter benefits right there. Inspire, acquire, elevate, and conquer. I heard light takeover. Again, the inorganic grid system has fallen, is destroyed. The matrix has fallen. Prepare for true worldly things to unfold in the physical, in the way they have in the spirit. But y'all, excuse me, I'm going to leave it right there because I have a few things I need to do today. But I think that's a beautiful place to leave it. I may actually upload this one to YouTube if it allows me. And I pray that each and every one of you has an incredible weekend, knowing the power you hold and what you are capable of. The type of things that you are able to co-create and bring into existence just by being you. Just by knowing what you know and doing what you were put here to do. But I love you, and I will see you again Monday. So until then, remain peaceful, unconditionally loving, stand united, and remain respectful, unless disrespected. Then check with the Most High and check your motherfucker self before you check a motherfucker with grace. And like Chaucer would say, XXX Tentacion, ay. If anybody tells you to lay down, run them the fuck over. But not with your car. Vroom, vroom. with your energy. Because we have nothing to prove, our energy obviously does it for us. And last but most definitely not least, drink your motherfucking water, especially at this time. It is a conduit of energy and it will assist you in balancing out what you have intaken. And remain balanced, stay grounded, and remember who the fuck you are, the power you hold, and the changes you are fully capable and competent of making on this planet. Not just for yourself, but for the world. I love you. You're a world changer, a soul saver. Remember. Always remember. Remember to remember. I love you guys. And until next time. Bye!